Hello everyone. First off, as you may have noticed, I have decided to delay my look at Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald for the time being due to something under control. I will most likely be addressing it in full when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray around Easter 2019. Second, I have also seen this in our theater's new expansion. The Rio is also having home to a second screen as a Roxy, which is more of a sort of like a living room style venue, which I've been to before. And ironically, both times been this kind of venue have been doing a DC film. In this case, the latest film in what is now the world of DC, rebranded from the DC Extended Universe. Here's Aquaman, based on the comic book character same name. They've been trying to get this movie made for so long. One of the best known gags on the hit HBO show Entourage was about a fictionalized version getting made. It's starring Adrian Greenier's character and directed by James Cameron. Another James took his crack at this, and even though it may not be quite, say, The Dark Knight or Avatar levels of WoW, I can definitely say that it's good. I mean, not quite the best film I've ever seen, with their label attached to it, but it's good. So, as per usual, I'll try and keep things relatively spoiler-free. Anything I do address will be most likely already have been brought up in trailers, if it is somewhat spoilery. But I will say that there is definitely a reason why the movie has made at least $150 million domestically and climbing so far. Already doing better than Justice League was, and how their rebrand to they're going to be focusing less on the shared universe aspect of the franchise and more on the individual standalone films. They're going to be filming what's already on the slate as well as being planned. It's going to be retooled into a more traditional format. And let me put it this way, I mean, if they release the Snyder Cut of Justice League, I personally buy it. However, I admit it would be kind of hard to find a degree of, like, the Holy Grail, in this case, Atlantis. The story, of course, follows the Aquaman Arthur Curry, played by Jason Momoa, who is a child of the Atlantean and female Atlanta, played by Nicole Kidman. Her second DC role is 1985's Batman Forever, and a lighthouse keeper, her played by Tamora Morrison, who is the not only second DC role he has had as well since Green Lantern, but also another time where he's played a father figure to a character who would become quite the fighter, referring to Jango Fett, of course. And he must try and stop his half-brother King Orm, as well as a mercenary known as Black Manta, from trying to drive both the surface as well as the oceans into chaos, by finding a trident that was once forged by King Neptune himself, or rather Poseidon, depending on your particular background, to unite the kingdoms and take his rightful place as king and warrior. So, this is definitely has some similarities to Marvel's Thor, which are films I actually rather enjoy, but also many differences as well. And personally, while Orm, I may not have found him as compelling a villain as say Thanos or Killmonger or any of the Wars of DC villains so far. Overall, he did do fine, even if he had a lot to love to him. Other actors such as Dolph Lundgren, Amber Heard, and even Julie Andrews, of all people. I may not be entirely familiar with the actor who played Black Manta. I kept thinking it was going to be someone else, but it turns out, I guess they it's not someone I really know off the top of my head. I mean, and I would like to have seen him more in the movie, but I guess they might be trying to save him for the proposed Legion of Doom they're working on building since they got their heroes. I guess also working on building Rose Gallery as well, man. Which might explain they're using not only big names like Joker and Lex Luthor, but also other characters such as Cheetah, Black Manta, and Dr. Sivana and Shazam next year. I mean, so as I've said before, I don't have a preference for either comic publisher or movie studio, but I definitely want both franchises to be successful for different reasons, and I guess as if I had to say, hey, when a sequel is happening, let alone anything else, I don't think it'll happen until after 2020 at earliest for my money. Kind of like with, like, I'm not even sure if Green Lantern Corps is still even happening because of how crazy the news cycle has been for the franchise as of late. I mean, and as contrasting, and how Marvel has been. I mean, sure there have been some unpleasantness and stuff, people being let go, or leaving the series, but usually the actual nature of the film stars is usually kept under a very tight secrecy to a point where, even though I know that Spider-Man Far From Home was happening, I have not actually seen the trailers supposedly have together yet. Even Holland is not going to be able to see what's happening. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I mean, of course, visuals are definitely some of the best aspects of the movie. While the cinematography and editing do get busy from time to time, apparently, this particular editor and DP have worked with James Wan before. A lot of his other past ones, such as like with Saw, Furious 7, the Conjuring franchise, and so he has experience working with big series, and $160 million definitely looks like has been well spent. I've seen some estimates go as high of about $200 million, which is in line with the other movies in the franchise. Just as they was tip of the iceberg for the underwater scenes of Atlantis, all the color looks definitely as totally bonkers as it did in the comics. I haven't read those too much, or other versions of character, and despite the character's claim that he was on the short end of the stick most of the movie, he actually held his own pretty well, given how Momoa, before he became an actor had a background in mixed martial arts as well as a few other people in the industry often do. In a sense, it does get busy in some scenes as the film's 140-minute runtime wears on, but overall, it's a solid film. Before I give my final rating and move on to the trailer talk, I'm gonna just go break down the past ones in this particular verse, just to keep my actual figure, not ignoring the other ones I've had. Like, there have been movies that are admittedly flawed and have not been the best received, but they do have fans that will defend them, and enough audiences that at least turn a profit, like with Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman. You also have ones that definitely have had a rough go of it, but you can definitely tell what they're really trying to do, at least. With Justice League being a big example of that. And you also have the ones that have been the standalone entries. He's there. Those have been the strongest ones, given how they just focused on one particular hero and their origin story without getting too bogged down in the subplots of either parts of the series or setting up future films. Which is a category I place Man of Steel and Wonder Woman in. So I would place, I definitely say that this movie's better than Suicide Squad. About the same level of enjoyment I had with Justice League or BVS, but not quite as much as Man of Steel or Wonder Woman for me. There are moments where I can tell that even though Snyder's not directly involved in this movie, his particular style definitely influenced this one quite a bit, though it's not afraid to have, say, like a proverbial giant enemy crab and people trying to take his weapon for matches damage. I'd say that's worth about $599 US. Ridge Racer. I'll talk another time, but I am going to miss Sony's moves seeing E3 out, so I'll give this film a strong 3.5 stars out of 4, and now trailer time. This time before I work on some of my laundry and have some dinner. Not going to be in any particular order this time, but I'm just going to be going how I feel about each preview I saw. I mean, like, Bumblebee, I've heard good things about, while Aquaman definitely came in #1, is going to be leading again to close out this crazy year. Both this Bumblebee made Poppins both have respectively made 8-figure sums so far. I'm most likely going once I can find someplace showing it. I mean, and The Lion King 2019. Regardless of what you follow about the live-action animation debate, I can't deny that I'm interested. I mean, as a big fan of the original film of 1994, I think that was like the first movie, not just of Disney movie, but any movie I saw in the theater when I was really small, about 2. I didn't really get to start remembering until it came out on video, and given how the 3D re-release of the original film bumped it up past $1 billion worldwide, cementing it as the highest grossing traditional anime film ever, I'm actually eager to see what Favreau can do with it. I mean, they got a lot of good cast members on there, and even though it doesn't look quite as vivid as the original, admittedly, I can't deny the technical achievements look impressive, how realistic things are. I mean, that mandrill, Rafiki christening Simba on Pride Rock is just unbelievable. I mean, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the Jungle Book remake he handled, I actually kind of liked what they did with that. I mean, with any of the live action ones I got going on, least of all Dumbo and Aladdin as well, I really hope we could do something interesting with the script. I wouldn't mind if I played up more of the Shakespeare influence, or at least all of Favreau, like, if I can expect something interesting for him, like what he did with the first Iron Man films, if there are even swingers. I'm also interested to see what he'll do with this Mandalore show that he's making for Disney's new streaming service. That's going to be part of the Star Wars shows, man. I'll also address how I feel about the future of the series from after Episode 9 and 2020, and other future videos soon to close out this year. And also, on that note, Captain Marvel and Infinity War are both, in Endgame, Avengers, I already did videos addressing those respective trailers, so go watch those if you want to find out more of my thoughts, but I think they both look exciting as a short version. And also, as you can tell, I'm trying to basically put mine together at my entertainment calendar for 2019, which will probably be my last big year on YouTube of actively posting content. It'll be like a hobby after that, but for when I'll be retired, I have something in mind for now I've been planning for a while, and hopefully I'll actually have things up and running finally to really finish up things I want to. I have never really addressed anything unless I have posted motivation to do so, or something I could add to the table that I felt I could. Anyway, that's all to say about this movie. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments, and I will talk to you guys all later. Hail to the king.